What did she do wrong?
Bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
Welcome to Everyone Racers,
A show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of Lemon Champ or Lucky Track Dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we don't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussion,
Tips, tricks,
As well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
whether it's on the spot.
hella sweet,
Or we're lucky enough in
Chrissy,
Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
we're sure you'll giggle a little.
and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
It's Chris.
This is Chrissy. Oh, you remembered.
I'm Tim.
And I'm mental.
And we are Everyone Racers, and I'm not
Just
complimenting Mental on his updated video intro this time because Chrissy didn't like that. So I'm going to the normal script. Anyway, this is a medium 90s BMW Blue episode. Welcome to episode 363, and 363 is the color code for Barrett's Blue, as found on the E38 and E39 BMW models. It is quite a nice color.
It rather is.
Yeah.
It's quite
Yeah.
lovely.
It is deep, very deep color.
It is. Speaking of
Yes.
deep, Mental, what are you working on?
I am, aside from fighting the internet, I am down one ATV. Had a gentleman drive up from
Which one?
LA this weekend. Picked up my pile of untitled pile of parts in the shape of a Kawasaki Terriax. He was building a retirement ranch down in Kingman, Arizona, so he's going to take that down there. He's using actually this one for spares. Went tailgating over at the Raiders game right before Pittsburgh, kicked the holy crap out of them, and working on some more tables for the next evolution of the garage. And as soon as we finish recording this episode, I am slipping out of here and meeting an old military buddy, retired Australian paratrooper that I was in Africa with 20 years ago.
Super cool.
It is super cool. Except this time around, I didn't have the.
We can just do it for fun.
Yes.
Sorry, little insider baseball listeners. I just had to reboot all my internet because everyone was freezing up. So we're just making inside jokes the whole time. Who's next? What else? What are you guys working on?
I was working on very exciting things like cleaning out the sheds at the Cape House, because sheds are just a place to put stuff you don't want to deal with right now and might need again later, and that other people in your family will put stuff in there too. So they are cleaner than they have been since they were installed practically. So that's fantastic.
Does your
I
family
just
know that
finished-
this stuff is no longer in the sheds?
Yeah, but none of them
just
really
happy.
even knew it was there in the first place, frankly, because
Which
none
is-
of them really
yeah.
did anything with it. Like the big stuff that they care about is still there, but all the other things, no, all gone.
Yeah.
Like the 25 hanging plastic baskets you get from, the hanging plant you get at the grocery store, all of those, and most of them filled with dirt and just piled on top of each other.
And the Sanka can full of Mills. That shows you how old it is, right? It's a Sanka can. So all kinds of stuff like that is gone. Thank you. Things we don't need anymore. Yeah. Also tonight I winterized the boat, get all the old fuel out of it, stabilizer for the residual you can't get out, fogging oil in the cylinders in both engines, and yeah, it's ready to go in the garage for winter storage. Till next year. But we were out in the boat literally yesterday because it was 80 degrees here in Pennsylvania yesterday. Today it was 52 and really windy. So good timing.
Perfect
Very
timing.
good timing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Chrissy, I know what you're working on, but these two fools don't know what you're working on. So you can tell
I'm
them.
just preparing for New Hampshire race. Got all kinds of stuff spread all over the house and boxes and, all that good stuff. So just trying to think of what I forgot.
Today. Yep.
Yep. And sausage and filled water
Race,
bottles.
The race piles are starting to take place on the floor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're all pretty much that's not true. I was gonna say they're all pretty much in the den, but then there's the upstairs hallway where all the race stuff, the bed stuff, that's still up there. So yes, all over the house actually. True.
Yep.
That's,
We've all been there.
that's how I do it too. If I trip over it, I won't forget it.
I've got like this couch where our dining room table used to be, and we're gonna knock out that wall so the couch becomes the race pre-stage area. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Timmy, what are you working on?
Well, I was just in Visalia for a wedding, just outside of Visalia, actually. We were only 30 minutes from the entrance to Sequoia Woods. So we went up and checked out the giant tree, General Sherman, which is so cool. It was unbelievable how much fire damage there was, like leading up to the Great Forest. So that was kind of scary. But we did it in an EV. So we took the Tesla up there. So you've got a supercharger just north of Visalia. So then we had to go to the wedding, and then we were bouncing back and forth between there. And we had 118 miles, and then we had 23 miles to go from the hotel to the tree. And when we got there, we only had 57 miles left. And that's a problem.
How much is downhill on the way home?
It's a lot. It's a lot. So there was a little range anxiety going on, and I'm like, well,
sure.
it's not going to burn, anything going down the hill, but like, what's it going to get up to? Like, I didn't really know. So you're at like 6,000 feet. So by the time we left the big old Sherman, we went down the hill. It's like 21 miles to the main gate, and we went from 57 miles to 80, and that was after driving 21 miles. So we were like, now we can make it to the supercharger. We're gonna have to stop at like some ghetto place with a 110 and wait 7 hours to get 4 miles. So we got that done, which was good. We did pick up a little bit of damage on the Tesla, actually pulling out of the parking spot at this little ranch. There was in the dark, there was like a little bush that they had hacked down. It was like this high, and it just clipped the rocker panel right by the rear tire. So it knocked a piece of plastic off.
What the hell?
I spent the day with the heat gun and some crazy glue, and got all the clips put back together and put it back on. So that worked out fine. And now I'm packing up my golf clubs. I'm heading off to
zip?
Austin.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's pretty clean with a little polishing compound and get the scuffs out. It's hard to notice that there's anything there. So it was
good.
It was one of those. Whew, that could have been expensive, but yeah. So now I'm packing up my golf clubs, heading to my buddy Ray's house in Austin for a golf tournament this weekend, which is why I'm not joining you guys in New Hampshire, because they're always on the same weekend.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Well done, Mental.
Perfect time.
Oh, goodness. Okay, great. It's just no time.
The latest automotive endeavor.
Oh,
from
hold on.
Heinrich
Tim, you
Fisker.
did a great job last week. Thank you.
I was channeling my inner Chrissy.
I
Thank you
know.
very much.
I was laughing. Oh, it was great. Thank you. You did a great job. I was like, how's this going to go? No. Yes. Anyway, I'm sorry, Chris. Start over again.
Sorry. So remember that latest automotive endeavor from Heinrich Fisker to make EVs that then went bankrupt? Yeah, we have discussed that before. They've even left people without warranties, liquidating their assets, all that kind of stuff. Now, they've abandoned their Southern California headquarters building, leaving quite a mess behind in their La Palma offices. Now, local TV station KTLA5 shows the remnants of a lot of junk in the building. It's got trash, auto parts, office equipment, potentially hazardous waste, and even life-size clay model vehicles, one of a sedan and one of a pickup truck. Now, the landlords say they shouldn't be responsible for cleaning up the mess, which reportedly would cost them tens of thousands of dollars in cleanup costs, damage repairs, and what appears to be hazardous waste removal, end quote, according to a legal document filed on October 4th. So, anybody want a clay model of a Fisker? You know, it's a nice conversation piece to have around the house.
It looks like somebody just, as they were leaving, just threw everything everywhere.
On the
floor. That's not just some office building. It's like ransacked.
Yeah, like literally, the feds are outside, and here comes like the team, and they're all just trying to like shred everything. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
And apparently, squatters are starting to become a problem in the facility too. Now that no one's there, because it is California. So,
I mean, why is the clay vehicle still there? I want
those are heavy and hard to move, and they don't need it anymore.
They don't run.
I guess.
All you fiberglass folks, get in there and make yourself a fiberglass truck or car right now. There's the mold, already ready to go.
It's Adobe, a car made with Mexican know-how and Southern California engineering.
Adobe, the first car to break the 1,000. Incidentally, should you be looking for that last-minute Lemons theme, here it is. Cover your car with clay and then come through BS. Take it all off before you go onto the track, though. But yeah,
right. What a mess.
Especially if it rains.
Oh, gross.
Oh, fantastic. Well, speaking of EVs, Toyota and Woven, which is their corporate venture capital firm, announced a new hydrogen cartridge that could make EV charging obsolete. This article by Yanko Design by Vincent Nguyen said there are several stumbling blocks to the widespread, or should I say explosive, adoption of hydrogen as a fuel source, but Toyota may have come up with the ideal solution. They announced that they will be exhibiting these at the 2024 Japan Mobility Bizweek show, and it is a new energy storage system that helps extract all the energy storage potential of used batteries. Its hydrogen-powered GR Corolla race car will be there, and a portable hydrogen cartridge. Toyota knows that fuel cell electric vehicles, or FCEVs, their tanks are large, heavy, and there's not enough refueling stations. But with a swappable tank, getting back to full range can take just a matter of minutes. So no longer just focused on automobiles, so the company is now exploring new avenues to make hydrogen a mainstream energy source for a wide range of uses. These portable cartridges have been designed with functionality and aesthetics in mind. They are a sleek cylindrical design that prioritizes portability. You can put them in your backpack and walk around with them. Ease of use and ergonomic handles so they can easily be carried and integrated into various environments, from automotive applications or to home use in such essential appliances like refrigerators during a power outage after a hurricane hits your house. Toyota is going to showcase these for the first time between October 15th and 18th, and they are set to revolutionize hydrogen energy with these portable power solutions. Pretty cool stuff.
I actually really dig
this.
This could totally change that EV endurance racing kind of a jam. And I love that they showed it with the Tim Burr special right there with the meat cooking on top of that hydrogen powered.
I like the guy with his
meat.
backpack. Just like, let me just carry this,
hydrogen.
big tank around.
Yes. Yeah.
What can't it do?
It'd be great if you're in a national forest and your electric car is almost out of gas or fuel.
Yeah.
Pull up in a new one of these. Done.
Yep. Bloop.
I feel like I want that to be a backpack. What do you call that? Like a jetpack. That's what the word I'm looking for. That's like a jetpack.
Well, it's not far off.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to control which direction that blast is coming out of.
A hole in a very certain spot, and
it can easily go from jet to bomb. That's the problem. Be careful.
Oh,
yep.
Absolutely. Now, if I can do this without screwing it up, and I cannot. So I'm going to real quick make this change. But this past weekend, you may have realized that they were having the IMSA race at Road Atlanta for the Petit Le Mans. Now, the top tier race was supported back by the MX5 Cup and all these other things, but they also have the Grand Sport X class. Now on Saturday, race 1, local to Atlanta driver Patrick Wilmont and his all-volunteer split decision racing team put his BMW second place in the podium, just ahead of the Kingpin Racing Super of Tyler Hoffman, shown here on your screen as they are coming through turn 5. On Sunday, Hoffman would take the top spot and Wilmont would complete the podium in third. Why are we talking about this? Well, it's quite simple. Both of those outstanding drivers have been guests on this podcast, and we have links to those episodes. We've got links to all their social medias and everything on that one, but there's your results. And so congratulations to all those guys. They are literally out there rushing it every day, hustling, making that dream happen. Good on them.
Okay, let's talk about track. You want a track car? Let's talk about track car.
We should totally talk about track cars.
Found an
like
amazing,
cars.
modern, reliable, easy to drive. And we found a 2016 Miata on RacingJunk.com. Here are the specs. It's a 2016 ND1 club car, 17,000 street miles, insurance write-off because of hail if there's no title. The cage is a 1.75 down with no NASCAR bars not yet installed. ISC adjustable shock coilovers. All rear suspension links are adjustable, corner balanced by URW, Kirky seat, open tablet flash, and data recorder. Hoosiers are R7S, 2 stickers, 250% one spare. Can intake filter, stock motor, and a clutch, near open exhaust, and the recent contact with the tire wall at Black Hawk Farm updated pictures. Seems like a great way to get a lot of reliable, easy track time, and they actually want to sell their cars because they have 18 pictures because they spent the money. So there's a couple dings and dents, but overall, pretty nice race car. $12,100 in Crystal Lake, Illinois. Link will be in our show notes.
That is a cool car.
That's a lot of car for $12,000.
It really is. Yeah.
No title. Definitely drops the value down, as does the crumpled left rear quarter, but it's cosmetic crumpled. But still, if you need a great way to spend a lot of track time and not have it break very often, this is a great way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of already set up for you.
Yeah. You can learn a lot about suspension setup, and that's a great one.
Awesome.
Yes, please.
Okay, it's upcoming races time. Okay. Lemons is at New Hampshire, in Loudon, New Hampshire. 120 cars total, 23 BMWs.
Boring.
Okay, fine. It's boring enough. 4 Miatas, 10 Hondas, and 8 Porsches. From our 5th host, Eric Rude, he says this is the first sold-out race in 5 or 6 years with 120 entries, and the first one outside of California since maybe 2012, 2013.
Easily.
Pretty good field. Yeah. It's a pretty good field. 4 different Saab models. The double Doba TM. Doodaloo. I'll do it for you.
I know what I need for my automobile.
A Rover that belongs to an F1 member of ABBA. 3 Chevy S10s with wildly different engines. An old Dodge truck, I guess. The Mercury Milan versus Buick Regal battle. That seems like it should be happening in Michigan. There are 2 rookie teams with V8 Audi S4 and a Volkswagen EOS. I wonder which one
go well.
Worst time and what are the odds that either of them beat the rookie team in the 2003 Camry.
I'm going to take 0.
Yep. BertOne also has become the 5th car to 50 races, and dare I say the Volvo doesn't look one race over 44. Funny.
And I think it's going to have a new motor in it. I think they scorched their motor in the last race, which they had like 30 races on. It was some ridiculous number.
That they did. So, or they're not running, one or the other.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yes.
Totally fine.
With Rust is fixing it. It'll get fixed.
Right?
It'll be okay.
It was done 2 days after they got home.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, Champ Car is at Road America. 68 cars, which is pretty good sized field for them there. 17 BMWs and 11 Miatas. That's most of the field.
That is boring, but that is a really good number for that series. Just not a lot of Beamers running around Wisconsin.
Yeah. 3 Hondas, 0 Porsches, but there are 3 Neons. A Rabbit and a TR7, which is going to look glorious out there.
I hope it's a V8-1R, otherwise they're going to have a really long straightaway.
Yeah, they'll need the safety crew to pull them up the hill.
So few TR7s have their stock motor in them anymore. Like any of the ones that are left, just about all of them have something swept in, like some kind of V6 or V8 or something.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The only ones that have stock motors don't run.
Right.
They certainly don't race.
Sure.
Oh, I feel like the TR7 club's going to get mad at us, but I don't think they have
listen.
internet connections either, so it'll be fine.
Nope, they don't listen. It's recent results time!
Lucky Dog was at Chuckwalla on Saturday. Overall NA winner was 559 Racing, who needs a new team name, just 17
That's
seconds
the
over
worst.
Colfab. Right. B was a Drunky Wrench. That's
Which
better.
does
Under
not
4
need a team
laps
name.
back.
That's a great team name.
Right. That's a good one. Right. C went to Silver
like something-
Fern Racing.
I feel like Tim would make that up. Now we're Team Drunky Wrench.
That'd be the alternate team name for the other one of the cars on our team. I think that would fit the RX-7 quite well. Right?
Oh,
We're going to tell them that this weekend.
that needs to be a shirt right there.
Sunday saw Twisted Sister a lap over Occupy Pit Lane for A, and overall B was the Flying Hawaiians and 2 white guys, less than half ahead of Colfab, and finally C went to Warhammer.
I'm sorry, it's supposed to be half a second. I did not type that correctly. So, close racing at Chuckwalla.
Yeah, very.
Super fun. It's listener feedback time!
All right. Well, from our last episode on the YouTubes, Michael K said, the trailer axle with the tiniest bow in it, as long as it's higher in the middle, is likely normal. Now, the one without it might actually be the issue, but likely the positive camber is just a little less. Both sprung axles and torsion axles typically are built with slight positive camber. Freaked me out the first time I noticed it, on my trailer, especially since it was right after a second spring perch weld failed due to the world's worst weld from the manufacturer. Wah, wah.
Yeah. Uncle Dave called Tim the Wood Butcher. And I feel like that might just stick.
And all you can't see that. This is a podcast. Also on YouTube from our butt hangover show, Phil asks, so you think I could get that shifter cable back? LOL. Somebody had to have a good weekend. Thank you, Mental, for bringing the Omega. See you at Cinema.
Nope.
On the video of Kim's syrup at Bleeping Fast Motorsports commented, LMFAO, this is the greatest.
It's a pretty good video. You can check it out on our tube. On the Instagram pic of my Miata, the crew from Dutch Oven Racing asked if we would be at the Miata reunion at Sonoma next month, but unfortunately that conflicts with the Houston race, so I'm not going to be able to make it.
Shoot.
And finally, congrats to Twisted Impressions Car Club. Their car show this past weekend was able to donate almost $6,500 to the Pink Fund. Great job.
Wow.
That's fantastic. So good on those folks. Yeah. You guys, yeah. Well, Chrissy, you guys listened to the last episode. So I don't
have enough confidence to pour syrup on their pancakes.
Go for it, Tim.
Hi, Chrissy's mom.
Oh.
Okay.
Would not do that 100%.
Would, just not in the same style.
Fair. Different distribution implement.
Mechanisms. Okay.
Probably for the best.
Oh.
Okay. It's me time.
So we're going to
We're
New
going-
Hampshire again, which is awesome.
Well, you're not. But
No, I'm not.
We are.
You are.
I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
But you
Chrissy
guys
and
are.
I are.
Yes. Yes, you are. New Hampshire
We've been
Motor
there so many
Speed-
times now.
So many times.
Like,
It's, yeah.
I'm trying to think. They've been running that as a track for Lemon since like at least 2011. So they've been there, and they used to go twice a year, in the spring and the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We've just got so many laps at this place, so much time. That's a good track too.
It is.
Decent all
Have
around.
you guys ever had a Lemons car, as a 3-pedal mafia, ever had a Lemons car that didn't go to Loudon?
The one that crashed in Jersey?
That was the rolls. The
Yeah.
rolls went.
No, I think
Rolls
he's
went.
talking about the 300Z.
The Z crashed in Jersey.
The Z.
Oh.
Yeah, that never made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all the other ones have. Like all the Civics have. Even the Wago van, the boat definitely did. The Rolls
Boat
was there.
owned
Citroen
New
was
Hampshire.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Citroen.
TR, the Arc 7, the Cressida. I think they've all been there.
Yep. Ombre.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
It's been there. It's been a staple on the circuit for so long. So,
It has.
Quite.
Yeah. Let's
Now-
go.
Apparently they should do 2 a year now because it's people got boxed out this fall in that race. So
Yeah, you snooze, you lose. You know, it's
You may hear more about that.
yeah, it's a great track. It is on that, but yes, if you are waitlisted, we are sorry about that. But let that be a lesson to you for 2025. Lemons is bringing.
Yep.
Actually, by the time you listen to this, Lemons will have their new schedule. Sign up early, sign up often. Get on that. But for those who have never been, the New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire, just about an hour north of Boston. Lemons runs the 1.6-mile road course utilizing the infield and NASCAR outer oval sections, not necessarily the two curves, but the straightaway on the two straightaways on that one. It is known as the North and South Chicane setup. If you're looking for a track map to try and figure that out, we're going to have one linked in our show notes. And if you have ever been to a Lemons event there, it's going to be the same as usual. But if you have not, we've got information for you. If you have been there, listen anyway, correct us if we got something wrong, and sign up for the friggin' potluck.
Sign
Or
up
it's
for the
just a nice
freaking potluck.
when you haven't been to the track in a year. Like, oh yeah, that's where the track goes. Got it.
All right. Well, when you get to the track, there's not a whole lot that's nearby, especially for food. Not sure if the pumps at the track are working. You never know. There's a really nice gas station. They actually just fixed that one gas station that's you can basically see from the road, so or from the track. So pretty nice there. Stop on your way in, fill up, then you don't have to go back out with everything. That's what we did last time. Google lists premium at $4 a gallon at that gas station. Nearest Walmart is 15 minutes away in Concord. They are not 24 hours. They close at 11 o'clock. So make sure that you are going there early if you need to go. Concord is where you're going to get everything. There is a great pizza place on the way to the track. It's on Route 106, and it's called Brookside Pizza. And they have 2 locations. And people must order the wrong location all the time, and they will ask you 8 times. You know this is Loudon. You called Loudon, right? That's the pizza places you want. Okay, yes. Make sure that you're picking up the white. You're going to the right one. You're calling the right one.
Because they're not used to being that busy, except when Lemons is in town.
Well, I'm sure it's a
I'm
NASCAR
sure
track,
they
so they
plenty of
probably.
busy,
There's plenty of
Okay,
people. That are,
I'm sorry. Yes, unless there's a race in town, but yeah, the rest of the time, you know.
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
There are some neighborhoods around there, but for the most part, yes, I'm sure they're busy on race weekends. So when you get to the main gate, same thing as always. Make sure you go to the right and then park and then walk over to the registration building. Usually they have different windows open, just like most of the other places do. Sign up for testing, pay for power, bring your license or have it close sometimes that they do additional bans there as well. So, yep, that is what you need to do on Thursday.
I will give a 5 out of 5. Would recommend to the emergency room at Concord Hospital. There too.
I like this.
Yep, was great. Would recommend. No line,
Well,
no waiting. They did a nice job.
Go on Saturday at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Before everyone
Because the
starts
track
drinking
just-
and getting really stupid.
Still
Right.
have the scar right there. It looks like a smiley
Yeah, but
face.
it's minimal, so it's pretty good.
Hey, do that again. Do that again, Chris.
What, the smiley
There
face
we
scar?
go.
Yeah, it's there somewhere. Yep. Good.
Um,
Now here's another New Hampshire top tip. If you are not local, stop at the New Hampshire State Liquor Store, because the state controls all the booze and they get everybody coming from Massachusetts by putting liquor stores right on the interstate. That's a rest stop, is the liquor store. So go in there, stock up. Great
They're
selection, great
huge.
prices.
It is a
Yep.
great. It
Huge.
really is a fantastic selection. And even if you're not a drinker, that's a great place to stop for lunch.
Or you
I'm
can
still
get some
mad
gifts
jealous
for
of
others.
$4
Get bribes,
premium.
things like that.
Good God, $4 for premium. Ah,
Yeah.
I'm paying
And
that
that's-
for
it's-
87. Man,
It's a good thing our team stops there, because I think Greg Smith is individually responsible for 0.1% of the GDP of New Hampshire from his annual trip to the state liquor store for this race.
I'm pretty sure they see him like Norm on Cheers when he walks in. Greg, yeah.
so much.
Employees are on the side of the road with signs. Welcome back,
Welcome home. We can't wait to see you. I like it. Oh goodness.
Well, the weather looks warmer than normal for the New Hampshire race. But good news, dry. Not hot.
I can't remember the last dry race there, but I think it was freezing cold.
This sounds
year's
really
dry.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Temps are going to be in the high 60s the entire weekend, clear, dry, with lows in the 30s. So, being in a coat.
That's why I'm not
Being
going.
in a coat.
It's not going to be freezing at night, though. Like, there are times we've had to start the cars before, like late at night before we went to bed, and let them run for a while to get some heat in them so they wouldn't freeze up overnight. This is why I put a block heater in the old Civic, so we could plug it in for races like this and not have a problem.
No, and there'd
so
be
this is great.
days where everything would just ice over. So if you had to go outside to cook, then you'd have to like defrost the stuff, like, you know, grill and the water that we leave outside, like actual stuff would just freeze. So
We'd leave the coolers open because it was colder.
Refreezing my ice.
right?
Yep.
No, it's usually very cold. So this
I
is
do
not so
remember, Chrissy, you said you got in the car after me last time I was there, and you're like, "Why is it so hot?" Because I ran the morning shift with the defroster and the heater on. It was lovely. That was fantastic.
I was like, I'm dying in here. I'm like, and the heat was on full blast. I forgot about that. I'm so confused. Oh, okay.
That's why you leave the defroster when you're building that car, folks.
Yep. Highly recommend. Well, the test day is run by the track on Friday. The time will be announced, and you'll sign up with the track when you arrive. Usually it's $150 a car for one driver, and then $50 for each additional driver. They generally run it in an open test format, which is my preference, so good on them for that. Don't forget your assigned tech time, so got to go and get teched. In the past, you could walk the track Friday from 5:30 to 6:30, but nothing with wheels, which has been the rule in the past. But they don't specify on the schedule, so times change. But just be prepared for walking only, so something comfortable on your little tootsies. Saturday, the track is hot from 10 to 5, and Sunday from 9 to checkers at 4.
Woo. This paddock is really big, so bring a bike or moto or something rather, but it's really far to get from one side to the other. So
Yep. And if anybody wants to do a track walk specifically, let me know. I'm not planning on it, but I would do it some if people want to. So just say so.
And because not only like Chris is not being flippant when he says he has hundreds, if not thousands, of laps there, because Before Lemons, you instructed there. That's where a lot of the local car clubs would be. So you've been going there for
A long time.
Yeah. Is it comfortable to
Yeah.
say decades?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
More than 20 years. Uh-huh.
So, as you might expect, because we've said this before, because it is actually a NASCAR track, there's a good grill. So if you're not on an eating schedule or your team just hasn't gotten to the point where they're doing the cookout thing, that's cool. Don't worry. You're not going to starve. There's good food available. Even with the good food that I've had there occasionally, I'll still sneak over and grab one of their breakfast burritos or something because it's legit. Their showers are fantastic. I put these showers with a top tier of anything on the circuit. They're warm because they've got the inline gas heaters. That bathroom will actually get warm too as well. And the gates are going to be opening Thursday at 3, closing at 10. You have to get a wristband before then. Now, if you've ever been to a NASCAR track, as Chrissy was talking about earlier, they've got the giant 5 lanes open to get through that, but get to the right. Don't go in the obvious lane of traffic because they're only going to have one of those gates open, then park your rig, then get out with you and your entire team and hog everything up so where people have to go around you. So just heed the parking. Just get over to the right, go through. Once you get your wristband, you're fine because you can get in and out with that. Traffic is one way around those garages. We're going to have a video in a bit and we're going to talk through that, but it's always going to be clockwise if you were looking down on the garages. So always keep the building on your right or on the passenger side. You're going to be fine. This may be the best part of the New Hampshire race. Your judges are Dr. Mary Harris, Shelley McGee, and Janice. Their tolerance for any of your crap is in the negatives. They're already mad at you, probably, if you're going to try and pull something stupid. And everyone else who knows them is going to be setting up spectator seats just to watch you get hassled. It's going to be great. You best bring your theme A game. Don't be showing up with a blue car and a stick-on Smokey and the Bandit mustache thinking you're going to get away with this crap. All right, you better hit a party galaxy on your way there and everyone show up as unicorns or princesses or wizards or something because they're not doing any of that kind of stuff.
Smurf that up. Come on.
Boom,
Something.
blue car. Smurf that up right off the top of his head. It's not hard. Not hard at all.
Fisker. The clay Fisker.
There you go.
Sure.
And it's a Northeast race, so you've got those people, but you've also got a heavy kind of New England Canadian influence there. So it's not as aggro as you find in New Jersey. And usually if it's an aggro team, it's probably a team from New Jersey.
What?
Sometimes.
Why are you generalizing?
Absolutely, yes.
Why? All right. Potluck. We're going to have good food. Matt was just talking about food. Saturday night, it will be, I think, probably normal time. Usually drop off food at 6, eat at 7-ish. 6:30 is usually drop off. If you have an idea that you're going to bring something, just if you can sign up, that'd be awesome. I like to just have an idea that we might have 10 people that are going to bring food because right now I think there's only like 6.
Link is in our show notes.
If you could just sign up, just say like bringing a salad, cool, like whatever you think you might bring, and show up. And if you're going to show up, please bring food. That's usually the nice thing to do for a potluck. So
That's the point of a potluck. It is not a catered dinner. It is a potluck. You're supposed to bring something, people, not just show up and eat food. That's how
we
these
were
things
working on
work.
our car. We don't have any food, and I'm just so hungry.
Well,
Yeah,
she
you
just
could've
told you
gotten
where the Walmart is.
Right?
Maybe
And the
it-
pizza place down the street. If you don't
Boom.
eat half the pizza before you get there, then it's just fine. And I understand that Corey Dickman has offered to sponsor any team that wants to bring potato salad. So,
But if you generally find it, you find yourself wrenching on that car at 5:30. Oh man, first off, you're going to need nourishment. So about 5:30 or so, you've been wrenching on the car. Hey, pop over to the 3 Pedal Mafia garage because it's going to be right next to the Black Flag / area and say, hey, what did you not get signed up for? We're going to run down to Walmart and get it, and then bam,
sounds
your
fun.
conscience is free and clear. The New Hampshire Potluck is usually a great one because it takes up like 9 tables. It takes up 2 bays worth of food. So there's some great and wonderful and generous people that make food there, and you don't want to
As long
disrespect.
as you actually do. So there's that.
And make sure to stop by the 3-Pedal Mafia garage for a spin at the shot wheel.
Shot wheel!
We're going to have a shot wheel. It's
Shots,
going to be
shots,
fantastic.
Shots.
That's what we're doing.
Yep.
Shots. We are the ones that we're bringing. Oh, and if you have any liquor, stick your arm in the back of your liquor cabinet and figure out what is back there that you didn't know was back there. You forgot. Your wife decided that, something that was like peppermint looked good at the store, but then decided that that's disgusting. And that's exactly what we need for a shot wheel. So you should just do that. Bring it with you.
Bring it.
She won't miss it.
Bring old Dusty to the party.
Oh, Dusty to the party. Yes. Please and thank you. We already have some good ones coming, but yours would be helpful to supplement.
Absolutely. All right, so for this discussion, we're going to be using a track map that lists 12 turns. There are others that might say up to 14, but, whatever. This is the one we're going to use. So let's use that. So you have all driven this track, so comment as you wish. Timmy, you've never driven this track, and you live in Maine?
Are you kidding?
No, it's still on the list. It's still on the list.
You're missing out, bud.
Next year is going to be my year, though. I feel it.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I hope so.
I gotta move that damn golf tournament to a different week.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk schedule after this. Anyway, so let's start with how to actually get on track, because it is, if you've never been there, it is confusing. In most tracks, you go out through the, this track, like everyone else, you go out through the gate into pit lane. It's a beautiful, big, wide NASCAR pit lane. It's wonderful. And you turn left and you're driving for a long way, all the way down to turn 1, where you see Ken or Dale, and they check all your stuff, and you say, hello, hi, Ken, hi, Dale, and give, say, be friendly, and then you go. And normally you go right onto track, right? Not here. You then turn left and follow this meandering road of cones that keeps going, and then it turns right, and then it turns left and turns right again. And then finally, it looks like you've got nowhere to go. You're sitting there, and it's like, well, there's the race cars are right there, crossing right in front of me, and there's cones. There's not enough room for me to get there, right? No, there is. There's just barely enough room for you to squeeze between the wall and the cones to go out of turn 2 into turn 3 into that straight. Yes, Chrissy?
You think that you can't fit. 2 Cordobas are going to fit. So you can fit.
Yes.
And so you just
for those watching on YouTube,
follow
if
the
you
little
look at the
road.
video right here, there is a tendency among a lot of rookies to just literally go between the cones right there, turn right. That is one of the worst things you could possibly do. So if you don't see 2 tire walls and then make a hard left by the flag station, you have entered the track wrong.
Yeah, hard left by the flag station, and then the track will open up right in front of you, and you'll go, oh, okay, got it, thanks. And then be sure to mind the blend line and just stay all the way left, all the way down to turn 3. That's important because there are people coming through there. Some of them are going to be coming very close to you and those cones as you're entering the track. So stay left all the way to turn 3, and you'll be safe and happy. All right, now let's go back to start, finish straight, and just run through a lap of the track. The straight, it's a
I didn't
NASCAR
have the
straight.
video queued up to do that. I had the video.
That's
starting
okay.
At turn 3.
Don't worry about it. I would just rather run the track as a track. So the straight at this track is very wide. You can go 4 wide, no problem, but it's actually shorter than you'd think. Like you think, oh, it's a NASCAR track. It's going to be a long straight. Not so much. You end up really not. Our top speeds at this track are lower than all of the other ones in the Northeast. And as you might be 4 wide down this straight, but you're going to have to narrow yourself down to 1 or 2 wide for turn 1. Turn 1 is the first of the south chicane that's there, and there's essentially two good routes through turn 1. The faster one is to stay to driver's right, past where it is where it's straight and onto the NASCAR banking, and then swing it wide, use the banking to brake and turn and swing wide down into turn 1. This leaves, though, a giant hole in the inside, and if there's anybody there, they're going to dive bomb you down the inside. So the other way to do it is, as you're coming up to the flag station at the end of the straight, tuck all the way over to the left. And then you are the one dive bombing people down the inside, but you don't get hit when an errant BMW comes along inside you and overestimates how good their brakes are. And yeah, it's seen it happen many times. So pick one of those 2 lanes depending on your traffic. And there's a curbing on your left as you come through the track. There, it's a purple and pink curbing. It's not our usual red and white one. And you end up gradually tucking yourself into that curbing as you're slowing down. You're basically parking the car on the right front wheel as you're braking and turning into one. But if you carry some speed off the straight into this, that's the fastest way through it. So now you're going to go into the 1A and into turn 2 complex. 1A is and 2, but the combination, a lot of people get this wrong. And you will see a lot of people do this very poorly and come out of turn 2 onto the other side of the straight very slowly. Here is the fast way, the way that works. As you're coming through turn 1, which is a left, you're setting yourself up for 1A, which is a right. The thing is, though, you're going to pretend that there is no track out from turn 1A. You are going to wait and take a very, very late turn in. Mental, that's the way off.
Sorry,
the turtle
goofed up.
So you're going to take a very late turn into 1A, so that when you turn into 1A, you end up basically along the right-hand side of the track and no track out. Your apex is your track out on the right-hand side, because turn 1A is all it is a way to get from 1 to 2. And if you do 1A too quickly and you track out, you're going to ruin your run through 2, which is going to ruin your speed all the way down to 3. So set yourself up, stay hard right. Actually, a good way to know you did it right is the car will be neutral, like not cornering in the little tiny straight before you take the left into turn 2. And the left into 2, apex later than you think. There's going to be a lot of banking after you get through that apex, and you're going to get lots of grip. But the darker pavement closer is usually grippier than the pavement up higher. I'm not going to talk about the rain lines here, which are extremely different because it's not going to rain. So, but if you do turn 1A wrong and then you carry too much speed into 1A, you track out in 1A, you end up being super late into 2 and not turning early enough and not apex, and you apex too early, and you end up just pushing way up high and you're not on the gas as much, and it just ruins that section of track. So watch out for people doing that. You can also pass a ton of people. If you see them setting up for 1A wrong, just hold back a second, let them do it poorly, and then you're going to shoot by them in the inside in turn 2. Even cars that are way faster, you can just go right by them. Yep. Okay, now you've got a straight between 2 and 3. This is on the NASCAR straight again. It is on the straight again, but then goes to the left of the track, the main straight itself, because turn 3 is a long sweeping right-hander to go up the hill. If you've done 2 correctly, you just unwind your wheel out of 2 and end up just pointing straight down the chute into 3. They have widened the apron on this in the recent years, so you can go further left than you had been in the past, especially once those cones that they were going to put there get knocked away pretty early on. So you end up, if no one's around, go all the way to your left and then downshift and cut hard right so that your right 2 tires just barely touch the rough curving on the inside, just barely. That's if no one's around. Oftentimes you're going to have to end up going on the inside.
There's always going to be someone around.
Pretty much.
There is
right?
never going to be a time when no one is around.
120 cars.
Yeah, there's going to be 2 lanes is what's really going to happen. And sometimes people are going to try to make it 3 lanes into 3, and that doesn't work very well. And you
So
end
you
up,
have
if you
to
end up
bump
with
it
your
down.
left wheels on the rough curbing, it's bad. You have no traction. It's going to be terrible. At this point, just watch the cars ahead of you and figure out which lane is going to be best, inside or outside.
So you have to
Knowing-
talk about
but-
cars getting on track in this corner as well, and blood.
Well, yes, coming into between 2 and 3 is where the cars are coming
Yes.
on track. Yes, thank you.
Correct. We did.
One thing to think about when you're picking your lane for 3 is that you're about to go up the hill. The second half of 3, you're crossing the NASCAR straight and then hitting the hill to go up into the outfield, and that transition is abrupt. It is. There's no way around it. I think the Cordoba bottoms out as it goes up that hill. In fact, that's what I think they've told me. So another thing is, though, is if you're understeering as you're crossing the track, as soon as you hit that uphill, you are not going to be understeering. So if you've got a half a turn of wheel cranked in there and you hit it, you're all of a sudden going to shoot to the right. So watch out for that. Also, cars without limited slips or locked differentials will usually spin their inside tire going up that hill. So if you've got someone with a one wheel peel, you might not want to be right behind them going up there because they're just going to be slow going up that hill. Cars with no power have a really rough time getting up that hill. So pick your lane wisely, and it might require a little patience, but choose your lane wisely. Yeah.
The outside of when you're going up the hill usually has a lot of marbles. So the left-hand side sometimes looks like it's going to be a better road, a better lane to get up as you're going up the hill, because you're going to try to get around the people that are on the right-hand side that just took that corner. But usually it's really dirty out there.
But after this, with 120 cars, that's going to get cleaned up real fast, I think. And those are all going to
it's just going to get dirty again when cars go off there and throw all kinds of rocks and stuff.
Well, that's on the other side. It's going to be worse. That's where the rocks always are. Never, ever replace your windshield before a New Hampshire race. That's for sure. From the rocks that are inevitably there. All right. So you come through 3. You're going up the hill. That technically, as you're coming up the hill, that's turn 4. No one really recognizes that as a turn, though. It's all just kind of links together. There is a boulder way off the side on turn 4. No one knows it's there except the one team that actually hit it one time.
Boulder.
Right? It's so far off the track. When they said they hit the boulder, we said, "What boulder?"
Or what boulder?
Eventually, we went, "Oh, yeah, there's a boulder." Okay. All right. So once you're cresting the hill, at the top here, you're actually starting to accelerate again because you're at the top of the hill. There is a flag station on your right-hand side. Watch it because you cannot see what is over that hill. Also, this is where they tend to put black flags out. So watch it, not just for you, but also watch it for the people who don't know what they're doing and they see a flag with their number board and they hit the brakes because they're like, "Oh no, I got caught." So keep an eye on that. Now, as you crest the hill, again, this is going to be 2, sometimes 3 lanes. As you come down the other side into the bowl, pick your traffic as your best way through the bowl. But if no one's around, as I'm going up the hill, I like to spot something in the parking lot in the distance as my line reference as I'm coming up over the hill to be on the correct spot, which is all the way to the right of the track after you're over the hill. One year it was a delightful maple tree that was orange. One year there was a dumpster that was right in that spot. One year there was a porta potty. So pick your own visual references as you're coming up over the hill at 5, because it does still keep turning right as you crest the hill and go down into the bowl. Now the bowl is turn 6 and 7 really, and it is a whole lot of fun if you do it correctly. I'll talk about the best way through the bowl 6 and 7, and then we'll talk about the realistic way through. The best way is to come down off the hill at 5, and just as you're getting to the bottom of the hill is when you get on your brakes and get them on the brakes hard and late and go a little further into the turn than you think. And then make one hard, decisive turn to your left to dive all the way down the bowl to the apex. Some people do a little, they just don't turn in hard enough. They don't get the advantage of it. You've got so much camber there, and the pavement is so crappy that really you need to take advantage of all the camber. So dive down into the apex, and then make sure, though, that your eyes are pointed up out of the bowl, because people's eyes get stuck down in the bowl there, and they miss out on the smooth line out. If you're looking up, you very gradually unwind your wheel as you're coming through 6 into 7, And as you go past 7 into 8, then you just keep turning your wheel very gradually to the right. And if it's all one nice, smooth, even flow, you have done it correctly. If you end up having to turn twice, then you probably turned in too early. So work for a later apex next time. Just remember in the bowl, one decisive hard turn in down to the apex, smooth, gradual opening of your hands on your way out. Now, realistically, there's going to be 2 lanes here. Pick your best one. A lot of people come in with too hot and can't air the wrong gear to power out, and that's a problem. Coming out at 7, it gets a little narrow, and people don't notice that and end up putting a wheel off. So be careful of that. At 7, there's a flag station there you need to see because you're going up over a blind hill at 8. So if you powered out through 7, everything's going nicely. You're probably shifting at the top of the hill there. There is a flag station in the trees on your right-hand side at turn 8. Give it a look because you have no idea what is going on either side there. There is some passing going on this straight, usually, from people who are slow coming out of the bowl. As you crest the hill at 8, though, the track does turn to the right, and then it gets a little tougher because there's a huge gravel pit on the left that cuts into the space where a lot of cars are, and a lot of cars end up spiking the brakes or to avoid it, or turning in abruptly into other cars, or going into the gravel and putting gravel all over the track. And this, when I say gravel, this is like round pea or larger than pea size New Hampshire granite, and it goes everywhere.
Everywhere. In your car, outside your car. You basically fling it as soon as you hit it. Somebody hits it, it just goes like a party.
And if one thing back to the bowl, if you find yourself that you just too fast and you end up with 2 wheels over the top of the bowl on the outside, you best get it under control, because once the 4 wheels come off the top of the bowl, you are not in camber that's helping you camber, but camber the other way. That's just going to toss you right into the huge deep pit of round rocks. And without 4-wheel drive,
you will not get out.
We're not making it out. Our Wago van got out once. Dave Culberson stuck it in there one time. And he put it in super low gear because weird 90s Japanese cars had the super low gear, and he kind of like chugged his way out in 4-wheel drive, and that's the only way it got out. I found rocks in that car for years after that, until we got rid of it. There were rocks in that car everywhere.
Everyone else, you're just that's actually because there's bleachers at the top of that. That's a great place to go watch people get dug out. Because and the recovery vehicle doesn't even go on the gravel after you. They send some poor guy, like the new guy with the recovery strap, into like the shin deep rocks to hook up to your car. So if you've got a Northeast race car that might be a little rusty, you better check that tow hook.
That is not how you add lightness. Don't go in there.
No.
So that same gravel and the same philosophy toward the gravel pits exists after turn 8, and there's the one on the left, and people put 2 wheels on that all the time, and it is not going to be good. You're going to get out of it at least, probably, but it's going to put gravel everywhere. All right, so you're coming into turn 9. Turn 9 is a sweeping left-hander that's downhill and off camber, where you're setting yourself up to cross the NASCAR straight again and go back into the infield. Here's how I like to do this one. If you come up from 8, you've apexed 8, let the car track out so that you essentially apex 9 in where it sticks out the furthest. But the way I like to do it is stay on the gas a little later than you might think. And then as you're coming up to the apex or just past it, brake hard in a straight line before you start to turn. It will end up making you go out to the outer part of the corner, but that's perfect because then you can cut back in to the left because you do not want to track out at all in 9. Repeat, no track out in 9. Once you have gotten through the corner, which again, you've gone out wide in the start so that you can come in so that your apex is your track out. There's going to be a moment right by the curbing there where your car going to get settled a little bit. Let it settle because you are about to hit 2 big bumps as you cross the NASCAR straight and go into the infield. And of note, on the very inside, as you're crossing the straight, is an enormous bump. It's so big that we call it the turtle. It's gotten shaved down a little bit in a few years, but that bump, if you hit it on the inside, it will likely flip your car. It has done so for many others in the past, and it will do so for others in the future. And it's there on purpose to keep you away, because right behind that wall is a corner worker. And they don't want you coming in and hitting that wall where the corner worker is, because then they're going to die. So don't do that. So don't let, also, it's tough because people will push you toward that, and you could hold back. You do not want to hit that. So you'll hit the first bump. It's going to upset the car, and there's another bump on the other side as you cross the other side of the track. And the track is very wide, but it narrows down very quickly, and it's all off camber. So it's not going to go well if you go too far wide. So let the car settle as you're coming in. Turn on the early side with a late apex, and then there's a nice smooth line that will pull you through that corner into the infield. Realistically, it gets wide. After 10, a bunch of people are going to try to pass each other or you as you come into 11, because the ultimate choke point on the whole track is the start of the little S's at turn 11. It doesn't like having two cars go through it. It really only likes having one. The inside curbing, well, it's not inside, it's the right-hand side curbing. There is a massive ditch off the curb. So if you right there on that picture, mental, that spot on the right-hand side, you're coming into 11. If you're getting pushed out there, brake and slow down and let the other car go through. I've even just gone 4 off there early to specifically not hit that ditch, because it is a car breaker. Do not. That
is an oil pan crusher.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure somebody broke one of our cars by hitting that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
So you kind of get yourself settled in there. Sometimes you kind of have a habit of force going too wide through there. Okay, it's going to happen. Work your way through it. That's the initial right-handed 11, and then you've got the left-hand of 11 coming up, which you can do too wide pretty easily, but just understand what you're doing and that the pavement is different on both sides, and usually there's more grip on the inside than the outside in my experience. The issue now becomes into 12. 12 is another right then left as you're going onto the street, except on the right-hand side of 12, where a lot of people end up getting pushed because if they go too fast through an 11, 12 is designed to slow you down before the straight, between 11 and the straight. And if you push too wide through 11, you're going to get stuck in another massive curb and massive ditch on the other side in 12. So be careful about coming through 12 and getting pushed wide out of 12, because you're also going to have a lot of cars on your left-hand side going into the pits, because that's how you get back into the pits. In turn 12, stay hard left, fist up out of the window, and head into the pits. Everyone else is going to be passing you too wide at that point, going onto the straight. There is a cone line of a curved line of cones heading toward the pit wall, and this is an actual pit wall with some of those big sand barriers there. Turn A onto the 12A onto the straight. You don't want to hit those, and if people are going to try to cut you up the inside and get their nose in before that is a bad idea, because there is nowhere to go. You cannot push to the inside, or you will hit things that are very solid and not movable, and black flag the whole race or red flag the whole race. I've seen that there. So ease up. Too many people get so amped coming out of 12 because they're all frustrated from 11. Just ease up, get the pass done on the straight, but watch out for people coming up the inside, because once you're on the straight, though, it all opens right up to 4 cars wide. It's easy, but it's too tight through 11 and 12, and the costs for going off at 11 and 12 with the giant curbs is really high. So patience, everyone. It's 120 cars. Let's all play nice.
You will not win on the first lap, on the 50th lap, or probably the 200th lap. Well, you won't win.
Maybe.
Nope.
You will lose if you get tangled up with another car because you were trying to. I had the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's walls everywhere. There's not a whole lot of runoff in some places. So
You just need to be patient and think about the later on in your lap, not the right now of your lap, and it'll all go better if you're just a little patient at times.
Stay on the damn track, people.
Yeah, there is a great rhythm to this track, and if you can, like Chris was talking about, you think about all of the lap rather than the right now. That even if you're getting cut off and you're getting held up, which you're going to get held up unless you are, even if you are the slowest car, you're going to get held up on this track. But you can fall into that rhythm and just be smart about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll have fun.
Sorry,
always a
you
good
guys
time.
aren't going to be there.
No.
We will have fun.
Wah,
We will
wah.
do shots in your name. How about that?
Yes. Love that.
Yep. I can't wait.
Ah. There it is.
Wow.
Nice.
So much.
Wacky Mental in the Morning Zoo crew. Here we go. Chrissy, how's that traffic doing out there?
Sucks.
Yeah. Let's be back at turn 11.
Oh, that's perfect. I was the weatherman earlier, so we got it all dialed in.
I just like not how to get around the track, but if unless things have massively changed, but I think even last year, the staff there, the corner workers, these are usually experienced professionals. They have to earn the right to work the Lemons race, and a lot of them like come from far away, stay at the track. So with a handful of exceptions, and just because it's a racetrack, the flagging is usually pretty good. So everywhere Chris was telling you to be like point, that's where they put the veterans. They know what's going on. So they are warning you about stuff. And if you see someone very, very emphatically waving a yellow flag, assume that the road is blocked over that next blind corner. They also like to come hang out. They like to come by. They'll come by the Potluck. They'll come check out your cars. They'll come hang out in the paddock, and they're always fun. And if you don't know where they are, they're probably in the Three Pedal Mafia paddock.
True. Menzel, why don't you tell everybody why it's so important to be watching for those corner workers? Because you never know what's around all the blind hills and corners at this track.
You never know. You never know when suddenly two cars in front of you might part, and here comes a wheel at you at 80 miles an hour that is decided it should be free from its car. You should just pay attention to all of these things. The treehouse one is a good one. You know, I want to say it's like 8 or 9, maybe 10 years ago. Like I think I'd run an entire session and didn't know that flag station was there, and dumb luck that I didn't get killed on that one. So
there's so many places you cannot see what's going up ahead of you.
And even in places when you can see, it's 120 cars. So you've got 2 cars blocking your path. You're still trying to run the line, but most of that race is the first 1 mile of a 5K, where it's just shuffle, shuffle, opening, shuffle, shuffle, opening, shuffle, shuffle, opening. So just, be patient, be considerate, be smart.
It's a good analogy.
Speaking of wheels, is this the Don't Wheel Me Bro race?
It is
100%.
It is
Don't wheel me, bro.
It is. It absolutely is. Don't wheel me. Yeah, that was on the front straight.
Because there's so many spots where it opens up wide and then narrows right down, and you have to sort yourself back out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, just don't.
Yep. I really should have had that one queued up.
I was going to say it earlier. I saw him as soon as he got out of the car. He was mortified, just like so not good. Okay.
Well, the interesting thing is Matt was reunited with that car this year it came to
Road America.
Road America. It's still there.
Yep. None the worse. That's great. Okay. Next week, what are we doing?
Oh, well, as we often follow our previews with The Hangover, and there's a shot wheel, so at least 2 of us are going to be very, very hungover.
We don't have to start, so that's good. Somewhere between 4 of us, we'll figure out who's less drunk to start the next day.
There better be some social posting, Chrissy. I want to see the wheel in action.
All right, you will see it. I'll be posting.
Very, very much.
It's gonna be awesome.
And also the inevitable Sunday morning when Black Betty is in 4th place and all the cars are lining up 30 minutes before the track goes green and it's still sitting on jack
wheels
stands.
on them. Yep, that's traditional. If it looked anything different than that, we get concerned. So.
on brand.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially if they partake in the shot wheel, which I should make sure that our team knows about the shot wheel. That's happening.
Oh, they'll know. Don't worry.
Okay.
So good. The drunky wrenches.
The
drunky wrenches. There it is. Oh.
All right. This is awesome.
Do we have a safety item? We got nothing? All right.
No. Stay safe.
Not this
friends.
week.
All right. Well, hey, yeah. All right. Like you said. All right. Stay safe. I was happy to hear that all of the racing folks that I'm friends with in Florida are all safe. So congratulations to all of them. I am sorry for anyone you may have known that may have lost something important down there, but it looks like the gearheads made it through.
Cool.
Yeah. And hurricane season is not over.
No, there's another one brewing out there.
Yeah.
October 24th used to be the date the insurance company would give us that we weren't allowed to sail the boats to the Caribbean from New England before that date, or we wouldn't be insured. So that's the day we'd usually leave, assuming all was clear. It's probably similar right now.
Yeah.
Not quite there yet.
Great.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, we did transition from a La Nina to an El Nino year this year, back about 10 months ago. So just across the country, weather is nuts. It is finally just staying in the 90s here. But as we just saw recently with folks all the way down to South Carolina seeing the Aurora Borealis. So just be aware of the weather, folks. Keep an eye on what's going on. And we really want to see everybody next year. All right. What's more around the horn?
Great. Do you have a new closing video or do you have the same one?
I have the same one. So.
That's fine. We don't want to roll all the new things out at once.
Exactly. Come on, man. It'll overwhelm people. Besides, there's 2 people on the screen that still owe me a closing reading. So, and Chris's screen freezes conveniently just as that happens. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Oh, you know what? It's even funnier because I moved that file, and now it's there. It is. Now I have to just keep
come up with something else to talk.
Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of driving, racing, building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. And go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text pictures of your junk to me at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram at everyone.racers, YouTube and Facebook under Everyone Racers, and even Reddit at /E1R. Thanks again. Until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless, like us, there is no shiny side, then just keep those wheels down.